Yo, what's up? Good morning, good day, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncensored, the truth about money. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that you're here, that you've taken your time just to come and listen to us. You know what I'm saying? So, today we are talking about something else, something exciting, something that we use on our daily lives, something that it has become the biggest industry. And we've got an expert. As I told you, we go deep. We go deep. We get the legends, the giants, the you know what I'm saying, and we bring them onto the show. So Sanele, thank you so much for joining us, man. If you don't mind, just introduce yourself and what is it exactly that you do?
Hi everyone. It is an honor. Thank you for having me on the
Sure.
show.
Oh, no worry.
So I am a social media strategist. So what I do is I help businesses um, market themselves on social media and brand themselves on social media. And yeah, so that's my day to day.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I don't know about the intro, but it's a bit heavy. But
I use social media every day. There are people that are strategists, social media strategists.
sure, yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's important. Social media is not just about posting and especially for businesses. It is important as a business to have a strategy,
Yeah.
because that strategy is what the journey that you expect your customer to take. So a lot of what we'll be talking about is that, like, what
Yeah.
happens in that journey, I guess, and what are the important things that need to happen
Yeah.
for that journey to be seamless, I
Now
guess.
that you've touched on it, like, why is it important for businesses to have a social media presence? You know, we're from an age where marketing was something completely different. You know, you had to market yourself on television, radio stations. If you didn't have the budget for that, you'd have like flyers, pamphlets, word of mouth type of a thing. Now it's all on our fingertips. Why is it important for businesses to have that kind of a presence, social media presence?
It's basically where everyone is.
Yeah.
So we're living in a changing world,
Sure.
and we are being driven to spend most of our lives on our devices. Basically, like everything is driving us toward that. So just going to go back to the point that we're living in a changing world. Natural human communication is becoming more and more limited as we spend more time on our social media, and that opens an opportunity for marketing, to reach more people on these platforms. So we know that in this day and age, you will definitely reach more people through social media than you would just by handing out flyers, for example. So I'm on my socials on a daily basis. I am scrolling. I'm looking at content the whole day, and there's this big competition between brands to grab my attention. And that's where the traffic is. That's where the people are. So it is important for businesses to establish themselves and to properly strategize and make sure that whatever they're putting out there grabs the attention of the audience. So yeah, it is important. It is very, very important. And that's where the consumers are. Yeah, I think that should answer that. Yeah.
And then now I understand there are different types of platforms. You know, you have your Instagram, you have your Facebook, you have your just to name a few, you know what I'm saying? Then how can, because I understand these are different, you know? So if you can just briefly explain each of them, how they work, and which one do you think that businesses would strive mostly on or are already striving mostly on?
The easiest way to answer that question would be if we were to speak about a specific business, But just to answer, to give the blanket answer is that um, when it comes to which platform to use, so even before we get to platforms, we need to talk about who is your consumer. Who are you trying to? Who's your target? Right? And then let's break down the persona. What type of person? What are they interested in? What are they likely to gravitate towards when it comes to social media, right? And then the platforms come in. Okay, so if they gravitate towards this specific thing, then which platform makes that available for them? Then we start then to say, okay, our consumer is this person. They hang out on this platform. This is what they do on this platform. So our marketing needs to reach them there and be relevant to them, to whatever they're going after, you know. I'm a football person, you know, so I'm always on the football pages on Facebook. If you want to market to me on Facebook, you have to be aligned or market within those pages if possible, but it has to align with that because that's my interest. You know, that's what I'm interested in. So when I see anything in relation to football or sort of speaks the same language, I am going to gravitate towards that. You know, like again, going back to the amount of traffic, I'm scrolling. Only when I see what I'm interested in, I'm likely to click. You know, so yeah.
And then in terms of how they work, because I understand they're all different, especially with I know there's a huge difference between how Instagram works, how Facebook works, and how Twitter works.
Yeah.
Do you mind just
Okay. Let's look at Instagram for example. Right. It's a single platform with it's broken down into so many segments, right? You've got your stories, you've got your feed, which is where the first thing that we see when we go onto the platform, right? So you've got the caption where you can put in your caption. You've got IGTV, you've got reels. Now, I want to drive this back to the importance of strategy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
also still going back to who you're trying to reach on that platform. All right. So looking at Instagram alone, I could give you an answer of how Instagram works, but we need to go into how you need to use it for your business, right?
Sure, sure.
So going back to strategy, how am I going to use stories? You know, are stories relevant for my business? Because stories alone have tools. You know, so I've got my stories where I can put up content on stories. How do I use the tools effectively so that I can maximize on them so that it can benefit my business? You know, so there's that breakdown. Are we going to use IGTV or not? You know, is it relevant for our product or our service? You know, whatever it is that we need to offer. We've got the reels, you know, what are we using reels for? You know, do we use them or not? That all goes into strategy. You know, so just to break down that one platform, then we go onto Facebook as well. You know, you still have stories there. You've got your video content. The area where you put in your caption, that's also another marketing segment. You know, your caption, the copy. You know, how do you are you effectively using your copy, or are you just telling us about something that you've posted? You know, is it still a part of my journey? Because you're taking me on a journey.
Sure,
You know,
definitely.
I'll use an example of a coffee shop that I really like. I'm allowed to give a shout
Yeah,
out,
sure,
right?
sure.
Shout
No,
out to
for
Home
sure.
of the Bean. I love your content. I love your space. They're based in Maboneng, by the way. Check them out. And check them out on Instagram at Home of the Bean. So what I love about them, you know, is that so they let me just answer something or go back to something quickly. Social media marketing it's got a lot to do with storytelling,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So when it's not happening a lot now because we don't really receive pamphlets a lot when we're walking.
Yeah.
But when you receive a pamphlet you often just get, okay, the pamphlet tells you we sell this at this price, right? So to come back to the reference of Home of the Bean, they don't have any image there to say we sell coffee and this is what it will cost you.
Okay.
But what you see on their feed is that they will have, because they know who they're looking for. They're looking for me, for example. They got me there. They got me spending in their coffee shop. So what they put up there is the image. So whoever's in the image, how they dress speaks to me, like it resonates with me. You know, I'm like, okay, that's my type of person, right?
Definitely.
That's my type of space. You know, showing the artworks on the wall and all of those things, the furniture and everything. You know, the ambience when there's people there. You know, they portray all of these things. They have not sold me coffee. But I'm going there to buy coffee. Why? They told me the story. They told me how I would feel. They made me feel how I'll feel when I'm there, right? And they keep that transition. You know, marketing is, again, it's not just saying I sell this at this price, right? So when I walk into remember, I've got a feeling already that they evoked in me in social media.
Sure.
When I walk in, when the people who work there are dressed the same as what they portrayed on social media, they speak the same way that the copy was speaking to me, right? So all of that I was seeing is still taking me on this journey. So I'm still it's still my customer journey, right? I'm still walking the journey up until I get to the till, and I order my coffee and I make the payment, right? The treatment continues as I flow to go and sit down and enjoy my coffee and so on. But what I'm trying to say is that it's so psychological that it works a lot of on our emotions. Now this goes back to strategy. It's not just about what to put up, to just say we sell this, come here and have this, but it's this is why you need me as strategist, so that these things can be researched, and we research and we work on it and we plan it, right? I'm not saying it's wrong for a business to handle its own social media. There's nothing wrong with that. If there's someone there who really understands social media and is able to tell the story, and to tell it properly, to get people to get onto this journey, because that's the key. For example, when it comes to that being the key, is that when I'm scrolling, I'll see something that I like, and I stop and I click. When I click, the feed opens up, right? So when the feed opens up, does it continue to keep my interest?
Sure.
Because there's some pages that I can click into. When the feed opens up, it's so scattered and all of that. You've lost me. I don't feel the same way I felt when I saw your post. Then I leave, and I'm no longer going to like, because when I like, it means that, or when I follow, it means that I'm constantly going to be seeing. So you have more opportunity now to still invoke that feeling over and over again until I walk into your space. So I'm saying all of this to just show
Yeah.
how much competition there is, and why it is important to understand the platforms, because your question was around the platforms.
Yes, definitely.
But it wouldn't be a sufficient answer if I just gave you a breakdown of how the platforms work.
Sure.
Because what I'm trying to say is, look at your business, do your research, find out what type of person you're looking for, where they are, how to speak to them in these platforms. Then you get them onto this. It's not magic. I like to say this, and I say this to a lot of my clients. What we're doing is not magic. It's not a quick fix. It's a job on its own.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a process that we need to go through. So just because you hired a strategist doesn't mean that you used to have one customer, next week you're going to have 10 customers. No, we need to build that journey. We will get there, but it's a journey that we need to take people through.
Sure.
And it's a lot of testing as well in the process. Yeah, so yes, we can talk about the platforms, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, YouTube. We can give all of those breakdowns. But what I advise business people is that before you get there, make sure you understand your brand. Make sure that you've got your brand and the story, your brand story, correct. You understand your client, the persona, who are you looking for exactly, what are the interests. Research your client, because you need to take them on a journey, and you can't if you don't understand them. All right. So yeah, I just feel like I should answer the question.
What you've just like said to me now basically is visual representation.
Exactly.
What you are seeing, and to my understanding, little knowledge that I have is that Instagram plays a huge part on that, because it's all about your pictures, your videos, and with. Do you feel the same? Because I go on Facebook, yeah? But to be honest, the only reason I'm there is for the Facebook market. What is it? Like, it doesn't have the same appeal for me as Instagram. I feel like Instagram is simple. You are there, you bored, or whatever the reason may be. Basically just seeing pictures which I appreciate, right? When I go on Facebook, I feel like it's just casted. I don't know, it's just me. Like, I feel like there's a lot going on, and I'm struggling to grasp it and understand what's going on, right? So now I guess my question is based on if then I'm a business, which the coffee shop that you just made an example right now of, is then can I then invest my time also on Facebook, or should I just I'm trying to get to understand as a business, right? What should I focus on let's say we're making an example of the coffee shop business,
Sure,
right?
sure.
Which platform can I focus on that I will know that I will not waste my time? I will have the results that I'm expecting. You get what I'm saying? Because I just made an example with Facebook. It's not the same as Instagram, where I just feel like everything is just in shit. I don't understand what's going on. Where else on the other side? You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then same with Twitter, which is a different ball game altogether because there's less pictures there, but more of threads and trending of what's going on. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to find out as a business, right? Which is important. I must do my research, but then which platform or how do I identify a platform for me that I know that will work for me? Yeah,
I'm going to answer your question in two parts.
Sure.
So the first part is to talk about you and why you feel that there's clutter on Facebook. So the reason why you feel that way is that, and this is with a lot of people on Facebook, including myself.
Sure.
I know what I go to Facebook for.
Sure,
You know, and I go for that thing specifically.
Yeah.
You know, again, I said that I'm a soccer person, so I go in and I go to the soccer pages. So what you will notice with your Facebook is that you usually go to market, right? So because you go to market a lot, Facebook is reading you what you search for on market, right? So when you check your algorithm, I mean not your algorithm, your feed, with yeah, the feeds, right? When you scroll through, it's gonna show you a lot of stuff related to what you search on market, right? Because that's what you normally. But the reason why you're not enjoying it is because you when you go into market and you want something, you want that thing.
Sure.
Right? Now to see when you go on your feed, you're not expecting you obviously won't enjoy your feed because you keep seeing this thing even when you've bought it.
Yeah,
You know, you keep seeing this thing. Yeah. So the algorithm has read you like that.
Sure.
And that's why you feel like there's clutter, right? Now coming back to the whole strategy when it comes to business. What I feel like is is more effective, and I know we'll get into the topic, the boosting topic, right? It's more effective on Facebook because it reads you like that. Yes, this also works on Instagram, and I'll get to the Instagram part and explain the coffee shop business as to where it would best work, right? So I'll get to that part. But when it comes to targeting, Facebook is trying to push as much as they can. They're trying to push business towards targeted marketing, which is your boosting and stuff, right? And this is why it reads and takes so much data from you, so that it can feed you the things that you like, so that I, as a marketer, someone who's boosting, can be direct. You know, I am looking for this type of person who lives in this area who's interested in cars. If you always go on market and you search for cars, you're going to see my ad, right? So that's why you're not enjoying your feed. But as an individual who's concerned about not enjoying his feed, we need to switch the conversation to business that works for businesses.
Okay.
Because when they market, and we're able to pick out your interest basically, and be more direct into when we go into marketing, right? Into going to targeted marketing. But on the same breath, it kind of makes it difficult, which is what Facebook wants to do. You're more difficult to reach with my organic marketing, you know, because I put up a post, but it doesn't filter, it doesn't show on you, you know, because my post and your interests are not matching. So this pushes me towards targeted marketing. So if I want to reach junior, then I must be specific to say I'm looking for a male who's between the ages of 20 and 30 who stays in Florida. Then it's gonna filter who's interested in cars. I'm gonna start showing up. Then you're gonna start seeing my ad. You know, so again, this is why I'm just answering the question as to
yeah.
why you feel like that on Facebook,
Sure.
right? And then when it comes to the coffee shop, I do feel like Instagram is a great platform. It's a good platform, you know. And most of the ones that I go to are maximizing on that platform,
Okay.
right? Facebook is kind of difficult, unless again you target, which makes it a bit easier. All on Instagram, right? Also, targeted marketing is good. It's beneficial because it's also reading It's reading your interests and will filter what you're interested in, you know. But there's more chances there to be seen than it is on Facebook,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because I feel like it's less stricter on Instagram, right? Because what it does is gonna read also where I how do I properly explain this? I'm looking for a proper way. So
Yeah.
these are the people that there's people that I follow, right?
Yeah.
Now Instagram reads how often I go or engage with certain people,
Okay.
and then it'll show my stuff more to those people,
Sure.
right? But besides that, what Instagram also reads is how many of their tools am I using, you know?
Okay.
How because they've got again that breakdown that I told you.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
it rewards me. So let's say I have 1,000 followers,
Sure.
right? So I use a lot of their tools. I go on my stories and I use the stickers. I use whatever, all of the tools that they have there. I go on my reels. I use the tools as well. I go on my IGTV. I use IGTV. You know,
Yeah.
and on my feed I'm consistent.
Sure.
I am posting. So I've got 1,000 followers. So at the beginning they might only show my stuff to 100 people. Now, because I'm using their tools, they start to show to more people.
So obviously these are people that are not following you. So
People
these
that
are
are following me.
or people that are following you.
Yes,
Okay.
these are people that are following me, and also people that are not following me on there's an explore.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Yes. Yes.
they'll
That's what
start
I
to
meant.
put me
Yeah.
on explore more because they are rewarding me for using
Okay.
or most of their tools
Sweet.
or all of their tools.
Yeah.
You know, so it works. It's a reward system.
Yeah.
You know, so again it comes back to strategy and understanding, like,
Definitely.
because now you find that businesses have a lot of followers who are like, "Ah, but people are not engaging with us,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know."
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
also
Yes.
there's
Yes.
analytics that tell you, and you might see that in the analytics. Why is because it'll tell you how far your post goes, how many people see your post,
Yeah.
you know, followers and non-followers, and you wonder why people not seeing my stuff, right? The main thing is that they are pushing you to boost because that's
Let's
money
talk
for
about
them.
that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's the elephant in the room, not you, Tshepang. Let's
Yeah.
talk about posting. What's the whole idea behind posting and how does it work? And I understand like there's like it charges you and does it is it a once off payment or is it those type of things?
Sure. So with boosting, so you set it up, right?
Sure.
Okay. First of all, 90% of businesses are not using it correctly and they're losing money.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
they're losing
Are you
money.
listening, business people?
So, and it's very frustrating to
Yeah.
say, okay, I spend 100 Rand a week on boosting. And when I look at the analytics, I can see the impressions. Like a lot of people are seeing my stuff, right? But why is it not converting, right? And there's so many tools on Facebook, because Facebook has got um, they've got this Facebook marketing segment where you can set up your ad and all of that. Facebook ads, I mean. Yeah.
Facebook ads,
Yeah.
sure.
So you set up your ad and all of that, and you can run that both on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, yeah?
Right. Now, coming back again to research and strategy, the business people that are boosting content have not taken the time to understand how this works. Right? You need to understand how Facebook ads on its own works. You need to go all the way back now to say we need to have done that research, which I spoke about earlier, about who you're trying to target, right? Your brand, how is it portrayed out there? You know, how what's the layout? You know, what image are you putting out? Because you need to brand on social media. You know, how have you branded yourself, right? So let me give an example. You create a post, right? You like it and you boost it. You boost that post, and I see it. I'm interested. Like that example that I gave earlier.
Sure.
I see it and I'm interested.
Yeah.
I click, I come in, I don't like everything else that I see. I leave. Now you've reached like 5,000 of us that week. And of the 5,000, only two maybe or three people become your customers. do you understand that it's because you never planned right through? You know, you were quick to boost because boosting said, and this is the way people get it wrong. Boosting said you reach 5,000 people, and you do reach 5,000 people,
yeah.
but they're not interested in taking the journey with you.
Sure.
You know, you did not capture them. You did not capture the interest. You did not get them into the flow, into the story, coming down the line. So, boosting is good in strategy. With a strategy, you really need to strategize when you're going to boost. And you need to understand how it works, right? Um, we can. I can break down again, like how Facebook ads works, right? But then again, you it's how you use it for your business. You know, some businesses don't even need to be boosting. You know, like organic works for some businesses, and it works very well. You know, and for some businesses, yes, you have to boost, right? So I don't know if you have some specific questions about boosting that you'd like me to answer.
So how obviously I understand. So I'm looking at a point of I'm just a small business owner. I've just started my business. I'm trying to get a reach on social media, right? Which is the biggest thing right now happening. A lot of people that's why a lot of people are, as you said earlier on when we started, right? So I want to know the specifics. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need to know how much does boosting cost. Number one, how long will it last? For example, if I okay, 100 rands, I know sometimes they say 100 rand for 2 days or whatever, right? How wide and far does it go? You know, is it only here? Will my post only be circulate here around in South Africa, or you know what I'm saying? So that's the point of which I'm looking at it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. So you've got to have a budget, right? An ad budget.
Yeah, yeah.
So within your ad budget, again, these are things that you need to figure out. Like, again, your target. Okay. So who are you looking for? Where are they? Then you set your radius, right? So what Facebook does. Okay. So we are in Selby.
Yeah.
So what Facebook will do is going to draw a radius around Selby, right? And then charge you a specific amount for that radius.
Okay,
As you expand your radius, the more you're paying.
The more you'll pay.
Yeah, the more you're paying for that radius. Yeah. And then also the things you add to your targeted to your targeting, right?
Okay.
Now you're being more and more specific. So the more and more specific you're becoming, the more it's charging you.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Okay,
because you're
okay.
being more and more direct.
Yeah.
You know, it's to say this is the person that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how basically it works, and that's how it charges you.
Yeah.
Right. So you really need to be. It's important to be direct because then you don't have wasted advertising. Because you will obviously not everyone is going to respond, but at least be reaching the right people, right? Even if they don't respond, break it down to the point that you're able to reach the right people, right? So, unfortunately, people see that the impressions are high. This is where the frustration comes from, right? You've set your radius because it's the assumption. It's assumptive. You know, you are boosting and you are marketing from assumption,
Sure.
right? So when you do that, is that when we do stuff like that from assumption, we say high numbers, high everything. You know, as long as it's high, I'm gonna get a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the misconception. That does not guarantee that you get a lot of people. So I boost today, and I set my radius to say, okay, I'm gonna expand Selby into Joburg, into Turffontein, you know, all of the surrounding areas, and now I'm expanding it, you know, because I tried Selby and I didn't get. You know, and I didn't get a good return, so I'm gonna expand it, and I'm assuming it's unplanned, by the way,
Sure.
and it's not it's not strategized properly. Now I'm expand my radius, which means I'm spending more money, and I do that, and then I still don't see returns. So I start to get frustrated. But why? What's going on? Like, because I'm reaching more people.
Yes.
And the numbers in the stats, they are going high. They're telling you that 5,000 people did see your ad.
Yes.
But why aren't people walking in?
Ish.
You know?
So now what you're saying is that obviously as a business, we're trying to drive sales, we're trying to convert leads into customers, into our clients.
Yes.
So so the reason for that not happening is that, could it be maybe that we are not engaging with our people? Is that what you're saying? For example, if you see my post, right? Yeah, you've seen my post, then yeah, you've seen the post, and then you scroll past it, right?
yeah.
But then how do I then, as a business, make you engage with my business?
Am I interested in it? It's as
It's as
simple.
simple as
It's as
that.
simple as that. Coming back to my example with soccer,
Yes.
right? I do see stuff on my Facebook when I'm scrolling, and a lot of the stuff I go past it, 'cause I'm not interested in
Yeah.
it. I'll see
Yeah.
it and I'll go past it, and maybe it's being filtered into the algorithm for me because at some point I did look at it, but it doesn't mean that now I don't have that much interest in it.
Yes.
The algorithm just read me, and it puts it there all the time, So that's gonna happen, and that's an impression. I saw it.
Yes.
So the stats, when you see them, when Facebook gives them to you, I'm there because I saw it.
Oh, you saw it, definitely.
But I don't even remember that I saw it. you know, Facebook recorded that I saw it, but I don't even remember that I
Yeah.
saw it. So again, it comes back to the point: do you know who you want? Did you research the people that you want? What do they want to see? You're not just going after reach here. You're advertising. You need to speak to my mind. You need to speak to my emotions. You're not going to get money out of my pocket if you don't speak to those things.
So one thing I'm picking up right now, probably a mistake that people make, is the lack of research, like not
Big,
doing
big
research.
factor.
What other common mistakes do businesses make, especially when it comes to social media marketing?
Common mistakes. Let me see, because it all these mistakes come from not planning. So I'll come back to being assumptive. Do you assume, and now, because the foundation is assumption, businesses then start to test everything, and there's wastage in that process, by the way. So you say, no, this didn't work, now let's try this, because you haven't taken the time to build the foundation and understand. So there's a lot of time wasted, and we work on this today, we test it and it doesn't work, and we work on this today, we test, because we assume that's what our viewer or our audience is going to be interested in. So I would say that's that's the major one. There's quite a lot of mistakes that are made, obviously, and I'm trying to think of a few that could just come from the top of my head. It's very difficult because I work from strategy,
Yeah.
so that's what I look at most of
Can
the time.
obviously these things they work with like algorithm. Which times do you think is the best time to post content?
When your audience is online now.
Yeah, Sanele, that's why you're here. When is
Yeah.
when is my audience online?
Okay, so it's a very good question.
Yeah.
It's a very good question, and the answers are there in the stats,
Okay.
right? So you've gone and you've broken down the demographics. Okay, your age
Yes.
is your targeted age is this age, the area is this area. What are they doing? Are they working class, whatever? You've broken down all of those things,
Yes.
right? Now, the reason why there's so much analytics on social media is basically for the marketers out there, or the businesses out there that need to market.
Yeah.
Right. So when you go on Instagram and you go into your insights, right, all that information is there. Right. It's there. Now it's you to take that information and read it, because it's when you put up a post, Facebook, let's say, okay, let's use Instagram for example.
Sure.
Instagram is gonna check the performance of that post and and tell you who viewed it, what's the age group, when, and all of those demographics. It's actually giving you even the times.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
giving you the time that, okay, this audience, this age group is here at this time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the advice here is that read the insights,
Yeah.
read the analytics,
Yeah.
go in and read the stats on the platform. They'll give you those answers. Then you will know which is the best time, you know.
Yeah.
Previously, it was because of the lack of knowledge. We assumed we that used to happen from assumption. I used to assume as well. You know, okay, let me post at 12 at night so that when people wake up in the morning, they'll see
Yeah,
my
that's
post.
how I work. That's
It's
exactly me.
yeah. So it's all it's again goes back. A lot of these are some of the common mistakes. Then you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this it kind of answers that question. Is that read the analytics? They will guide you. They will guide you. You know.
So so sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is I just want to make this point, you know, and not that I'm pushing businesses to get a strategist, but I would still want to say social media is not magic, and if you assume that it's magic, you're going to assume and then make your decisions on assumptions, and you're not going to get results. Then you'll say this thing doesn't work, you know, and it frustrates a lot of business people. You are trying to run your business and you're trying to understand this very technical thing, and it's
Yes.
frustrating because you've got day-to-day running of the business, and you've got this social media which you believe you're doing the right
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It's not bringing you results, but there's so much that you're missing, you know.
So now, obviously, you have your clients. You've worked with. I mean, you're working with people, working with people's pages. Some of them totally, the page is failing you. In your experience, how long does it take for a business to see numbers, to see growth?
Okay. So when I come into a business to work with that business, I have to understand, you know, the vision. I have to understand the vision. Um, Again, it's one thing that I always clarify that this is not a quick fix. We are basically taking your vision and we are putting it online and we are portraying it and we are selling it, you know. So people need to buy into your vision, you know. We're bringing them into this story, this journey, you know. So it's not just paste, cost you this much, come and buy it. It's bigger than that, right? So for me, I put my clients on a 3 month probation, and we have to agree on it, you know. If a client comes in and to work with me and they showed interest in working with me, right? And you come and sit down and have a meeting. And I'm reading that the person is looking for a quick fix. I don't take that because I don't take that opportunity because it's not safe for me. Right? It's because I still have to read a lot of things. Because even how you run, it's not magic. Sorry to repeat this over again.
Definitely.
Even how you run your day-to-day business, I need to know, because what I'm going to do is go on online, drive traffic, they come in, there's something broken within the system of the flow. Now, when a person, let's say for example, the customer service when they walk in or when they call or whatever is terrible, and people keep turning at that point, and we have not read that point to say there's something wrong there. You come back and you say this social media thing doesn't work. So it's so deep that it reads into the whole thing. So when I come in, I need to understand everything about your business. Not everything, but I need to understand the people that you want me to bring in. I need to know their flow, and I need to hear. I need to hear how people are spoken to at reception. All of these things are important, right? I know a lot of strategists won't go this far, but I feel like it's important to go that far, because then my tracking is holistic. I'm able to see the whole journey, right? So I give it a 3 month, and in this three months, um, the stuff at the front, the stuff that I do on a daily, I know that stuff, you know. I know how it is to reach the audience, to engage with the audience, to bring them in, to understand them, to research what type of audience is suitable for this business. Where are they? How do we market to them? What do they want to see? What do they want to engage with? That's all fine, right? And that also this is the journey of the whole 3 month journey, right? Sometimes I come in and I see that your brand image is not portrayed in the way that it should be. We have to fix that first, right? And when you hired me to come in and immediately bring you clients. So now I have to make you understand your setup is wrong. So let's go back, and I need to show you. Okay, here's what I see. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Okay, let's draw a strategy because we need to fix those things, and then so that the people can, your audience can start flowing in this customer journey, right? Yeah. So it takes more than just you get the strategist and they come and they just post stuff and then you start getting clients, and it's important, like any business person watching, you need to understand, even if you're going to do this for yourself, take your time, understand that it takes time, but once you get it, you have it. That's the thing. You have it. You let's use one big company for example, F&B. What you'll notice is that they keep doing the same thing. They make small changes, but they found the core. They found the magic, right? So you'll always see the same thing, and then they will have campaigns and all of those things afterward. But they've built the core of the brand, the image. It's F&B. You just know that it's them. And even if they were to filter through your in your feed post, even if they didn't put the F&B logo there, you would know.
Definitely.
Because of the colors, because of the copy. The language is consistent, the colors are consistent, the images are consistent. You know what I mean? So it's those are the core things that you need to build so that people know you, people can resonate.
And that speaks of branding.
Branding, it's very important in what we do.
Definitely.
It's very
And
important.
it's important what you're raising, the fact that what your business culture,
Yeah.
like your how people are received is important that you know that. You know what I'm saying? Because now you will be frustrated. You are on social media, you're getting the numbers, but the
Yes.
people are not going to the shop. Why? Why is that?
wonder why.
There's probably a mean receptionist or whatever the case may be. So it's what you're saying. I hear it. It's
Yeah.
important for you to understand the whole business, and if needs be that changes should be made, and changes should be made for the sake of. So obviously we are out of time, but this has been this has been great, man. And did you say maybe also how people can get hold of you in case they need these services, or maybe they have more questions, or whatever the case may be?
All right, you can reach me at, say my number.
Whatever you feel comfortable.
I'm on Instagram as at Sanele MA. So, but it's all one word, Sanele MA. And my number is 081 308 9204. And you can email me at smsocial@outlook.com.
And we'll have all this information on our description box. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening, guys. So obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, just remember that this podcast is available as audio on our on our Spotify, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast. Thank you so much, Sanele. Man, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It is an honor. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, man. We out.